So the red lights are on and out they go. So this is round 4 of the 5 club race in MX-5 Cup, and eventually those cars that were halfway round club get onto the start and finish line. I think from the from the pole position side, it's going to be Richard Baxter to swoop into the lead from Jason Greatrex, and here come the rest. Let's hope they get through Abbey safely. Only one car away from the capacity, 43 cars starting. Behind Greatrex is Ben Hansey, the champion from last year. Here comes Tom Smith down the inside, another of the BS cars. Courtney Milnes has dropped a couple then from the first time that she'd started that high up the grid. This championship that was struggling only 12 or so months ago has absolutely grown. Great work from Alan Robson and his team to build an awesome grid for 2020. There's Dan Blake, car number 27, 230. Following him was Tom Holland. There was another one on the inside, and now it's the big slipstream in action down the hanger straight. It's 3 that have made a bit of a breakaway, and then absolutely the rest are there behind. But Baxter's going to hang on in the lead. Here's the 4th place battle. Courtney Milnes now under pressure there from the outside line. That's Callum Greatrex, Jason's son, who's trying to come around the outside. Then it's 3 and 4 cars abreast as they turn their way into Stowe Corner. But it's side by side for the lead now because Baxter's under pressure from Greatrex to the outside. Ben Hansey behind them. Which car is he going to follow? Well, Baxter's hanging on as they turn their way onto Club Corner. Richard Baxter, who's only 8th in the championship, leads at the end of lap 1. From Jason Greatrex and Ben Hansey, and I think it's Tom Smith that leads the next group of cars. And there's a bit of another break before the rest are there, 2 and 3 cars wide, heading down to Abbey. Here are the top 3, though, as they turn through Abbey once more, Marcus.
Yeah, the bumper to bumper, absolutely fantastic. Tyres screeching as they head up towards the tight infield section, which will necessarily bunch everyone back together. Greatrex clinging on to that second place. And in behind him, Hansey just trying to get a clean exit onto the hanger straight, which builds the speed all the way down to Stowe Corner as the rest of them power through. And 1 or 2 going exceptionally wide, particularly that white car there in the back of your screen, just on the grass there, the white car with the checkered stripe down its centre. But here they come, and they're all trying to reorganise themselves to come down into Stoke, and Greatrex find a way through. He can. And number 8, Baxter trying to hold on the outside but has run too wide. That's let Ben Hansey through as well, but Baxter's soon back onto the bumper of Hansey and coming down through the Vale towards this tight left-hander down into second gear and then accelerating through this double apex corner at Club. Used to be a flat-out blind from Stowe to Club in the early days of Silverstone, but here they go, and this time through all change, and it's Greatrex at the head with Hansey and Baxter, and Tom Smith leading the next group from Courtney Milnes in the 777. There's 51 that's gone round and is beached in the gravel with the novice cross under the back bumper.
That's David Rickards. Here come the top 3 though into the village hairpin. So with that new order, Greatrex, Hansey and Baxter, then Tom Smith leading the rest. Tom Smith and Jason Greatrex had a bit of an incident in the last round at Snetterton, so both a bit further down the championship than they would have liked after just 1 meeting of a 5-meeting season for the 5 club racing championship. There's 230, that's Thomas Holland, who is in just outside the top 10, in fact. Jason Greatrex trying to get away now as they battle behind. To the outside of Ben Hansey comes Richard Baxter. And is Baxter going to try and break later? He does, and he gets there. The former Radical driver then, Richard Baxter, goes back into second place. A pretty aggressive move over the front of Ben Hansey. A change behind because Courtney Milnes has got there ahead of Tom Smith in the battle for 4th position. So Baxter fighting back now, Marcus.
Yeah, very much so, and that was a fairly brutal chop to get back, but he was entitled to it. He'd got past, and he's got a bit wide on the exit of the first element of Club, and that will have cost him momentum, and that will allow Ben Hansey back into the fray. The black car of Courtney Milnes, as you say, 777, is now up into 4th place, and as the intensity of this battle increases, it may be that the 4th and 5th cars can tow their way up onto the tail of that group. There's a slower car up ahead for the leaders to negotiate fairly shortly.
That's the car the marshals have managed to get out the gravel at Vale.
Yeah,
so
good job.
So Baxter went past Greatrex into Abbey, and I think he's had a bit of a touch there, which allowed Ben Hansey now to come around the outside. We'll give the inside for the next corner. And as you say, Marcus, they're all coming back to them. So I think we've got 6 of the lead with Courtney Mills, Tom Smith and Steve Foden, who was the only driver that was really able to go with Ben Short at Snetterton, back there in 6th position. That lower car letting the leaders through. Good driving there from him. He knows what's happening.
Yes, that's always good when the driver has the mental acuity to say, you know, I'm going to sacrifice this. I'm running nowhere. I'm a lap down, so let them all go. There's Hansey squeezing up the inside of Baxter into Stowe, and the rest all trying to barrel through on the inside as well, with Courtney Milnes in there as well. And Courtney Milnes now past Richard Baxter, the other leader. Richard Baxter locks the left front wheel under braking, and he's going to lose more places as well, because the BS car 41 comes through, and that's Tom Smith.
So just as Baxter had got himself back to the front, he's lost a whole heap of places by running wide there at Stowe. So it's Hansey now that leads. So he went from 3rd to 1st. Jason Greatrex into 2nd place, and then the rest of them flow in behind as they make their way down to Village. Here's Greatrex to the outside of Hansey, then Courtney Milnes 3rd, looking for her first podium in the category. Then got Tom Smith, Steve Foden dives up the inside of Baxter now, but slides wide. So Baxter comes back through, and now we have gained Marcus Bailey and Callum Greatrex into this battle. So it's 8 for the lead as they go onto the Hangar Straight on what is lap 5 of this 15-minute race.
Yes, it's fantastic, isn't it? And it shows no signs of lessening in its intensity as the leaders come down the outside line of the Hangar Straight of this former airfield.
Steve Foden here losing places. There's Marcus Bailey that goes up the inside, and following him or trying to is Callum Greatrex. He couldn't quite make it.
So it's very low, that car, the Callum Greatrex car. You can see the distance from the sill down to the road there is less than the others around it. So that was interesting setup.
He's one of the Red Line racing cars. His dad there in 2nd place, Jason, as they turn their way through club. There's Baxter trying to recover after that wide moment.
He's got to kind of settle down, hasn't he? Just relax a little bit and just try to concentrate on keeping it smooth, keeping it tidy, because we've already seen the car is prone to locking a brake in that unloaded side coming down through Vale into club. And now we've got Hansey in 1, the white car with the green and black flashes, the red and white car of Greatrex, and then the black 777 of Courtney Milnes. Doing a grand job there. Wide attack there for Greatrex. And is that going to compromise Greatrex's exit onto the Hangar Straight? I suspect it might. And Courtney Milnes gets right up to almost tag the back, and she ducks out from behind Greatrex, taking Smith with her on that side, and now here comes Greatrex. This is absolutely brilliant, and Baxter's back in on the fray, isn't he? Oh, 97 and 50 have had a bit of a moment, a little contretemps.
William Pickard was 50, but here are the leaders. Hansey's lost a whole host of them, hasn't he?
Yeah,
I think Courtney Milnes did give Jason Greatrex a great big shove, and that's what gave him all the extra speed heading down the Hangar Straight.
NASCAR style.
Absolutely, and he's worked for them because they're now 1st and 2nd, Greatrex and Milnes, and Tom Smith is 3rd. I think he has a bit of a tag with his teammate Ben Hansey that puts Hansey out wide, and here comes Baxter then. He's going to try and pick off one of them. So just like what happened to Baxter, Hansey doesn't just lose 1 place, he loses 3 and possibly 4 by the time they get down to Abbey. We're almost halfway into this race now. Jason Greatrex leads from Courtney Milnes, then Tom Smith, and Baxter does get down the inside of Ben Hansey there. Ben Hansey, who's a much improved driver over the last couple of seasons, thanks to tuition from Ben Short that runs the team, as they turn now into Village, and Hansey dives up the inside over the curbs. He's sideways, he catches it though. A huge opposite lock, but don't think he actually lost huge amount of time considering how sideways he got there, Marcus.
That was quite something, wasn't it? And again, a bit of a slide from Greatrex coming onto the straight. That's going to advantage Courtney Milnes going down. And who's on Courtney Milnes' tail? It looks like one big spin here. Is it going to get as far as the gravel? No, it's not. That's up at Abbey. One of the black cars has gone round. Didn't quite pick up the number.
That was Philip Duffwaite. Meanwhile, for the lead, Courtney Milnes grabs the lead into Stowe Corner. So I think this is the first time she's ever led, or certainly one of these races, but she slides out wide. So is that going to allow Jason Greatrex to come back alongside? It does. So Greatrex on the outside. You've got Tom Smith trying to follow through, another experienced MX-5 racer there. Then Richard Baxter, Ben Hansey in fifth. They turn their way into the Vale then for what is lap number 7 of this race, and they will be going into the final third of it very shortly. There's Tom Smith absolutely millimetres away from the rear bumper of the car ahead. So here they come. Who's going to challenge next in this leading group as they turn away into Abbey? It's 5 for the lead with Marcus Bailey and Steve Foden not far behind.
Interesting. None of them was prepared to dive out of the slipstream there coming up into Abbey, which was very sensible because there's only one line through there when you're flat chat. Courtney Milnes still hanging on to that lead. Greatrex is second. Smith up the inside of the 41. 8 on the outside is Baxter. Baxter's managed to squeeze his front bumper ahead, if nothing else, and he has got that third place. The lock up then from Hansey in 5th place. Now Hansey comes down the inside of 41. Smith, the car's got a few bingles down the side. I see that 41 car. And onto the hangar straight they come. This is anyone's race, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic, Josh.
Yep, absolutely is. We suspected it might be. It's certainly delivering. So can Greatrex fight? No, I think he's just given perhaps a bit of a push then. No real challenge into Stowe up front. Maybe waiting for that last lap of the race. It's going to be an important lap. Baxter, though, he's keen to try and pass. So he's passed Tom Smith already, and now he's coming past Jason Greatrex for second, round the outside into the Vale corner.
Maybe not. The red line car comes back. And this is interesting because the more they battle, the more Courtney Milnes extends what looks to be, by this race, it stands at least quite comfortable half a car length lead. Just fantastic stuff. Here comes Baxter looking up the inside into Abbey. There's not room to go through there two abreast, as we explained. But Baxter's got some good momentum, certainly on the exit of the corner. The next two are nailed together as if by a bungee cord. And here they come then, up the inside, change of lead, and that is Greatrex going through, and runs wide though on the exit, and Baxter's trying to come through as well, hasn't quite made it. They're all trying to engineer space for themselves, and it's Greatrex leads onto the hangar straight from Courtney Milnes, and then 8 is the grey car of Baxter. Smith and Hansey in the white ones behind, and then the next group, Marcus Bailey, Steve Foden in there. Little gap back now to another 5 or 6 cars. It's between these, certainly between these 7, anything can happen. That was mighty close.
And Ben Hansey kicks past all of them, does he? He was 5th heading down the hangar straight. He's now 2nd-ish. He's side by side with Tom Smith. So the two BS Motorsport cars work their way through. Courtney Milnes has dropped to 4th. She led at the beginning of the lap. Here comes around the outside of Richard Baxter, Marcus Bailey. So again, it's Baxter that loses out in the battle up at Stowe. So he's dropped to at least 6th. Because Steve Foden looking to come through, but Baxter trying to hang on around the outside. Not quite sure how effective that will be. There are 2 laps to go, I reckon. With 35, Jason Greatrex leading into Abbey. This is about over 5th with Marcus Bailey looking up the inside, and following him through goes Steve Foden ahead of Richard Baxter. So he's at the back of the group now. But Greatrex up front has got a 2nd advantage over Ben Hansey. Here comes Courtney Milnes.
That was a brave move, wasn't it? Sort of, it was almost a reactive to an inkling of a space there. Courtney Milnes dived for it, but hasn't lost any momentum, which was a good effort. But she's open to attack from those behind, headed by 154 there, Marcus Bailey, and down the hangar straight. Are they close enough to the leader? Courtney Milnes makes an early move, so she's trying to get back into 3rd place from Tom Smith up into Stowe Corner. They're side by side into Stowe. There could be some door handling here, and Courtney Milnes has got her car's black nose just ahead of the white one, so up into a podium place. Hansey just up ahead, Greatrex there as well. Looks like the white car behind has had a moment, and that is Smith, isn't it? He ran a little bit wide, and that disadvantaged those following, so it's allowed a bit of a break to the top 3, And as they come through, it's Greatrex from Hansey, from Courtney Milnes, then a gap back to Tom Smith. Then we've got 77 Steve Foden, Richard Baxter in 8, who led this race early on, and Marcus Bailey behind.
I think in this leading group, the only drivers that have won any of these 5 Club races before are Ben Hansey and Steve Foden. The rest looking for their first win with 5 Club racing, I believe. And into the link they go. There's a wide run for Steve Foden. This is the last lap of the race, the 4th round of the 5 Club Racing MX-5 Cup. Jason Greatrex defending. He's trying to break the toe. Ben Hansey, I didn't think was really close enough to challenge, but weaving side to side, Jason Greatrex, that'll be zapping all his momentum up, and that's brought Ben Hansey right to him. So perhaps into the chicane on the final lap, there may be a challenge. Here's Baxter going around the outside of Foden for 5th, but that's not going to work.
He outbraked himself. He couldn't get it turned into the apex. Here's the battle for the lead. Then Greatrex down the outside comes Hansey. That's brave. But Greatrex is equal to it. He breaks that tad later. He's just got to try to hold on to the inside now. And Courtney Milnes is 3rd, but I think Tom Smith not quite close enough. As they come up to the checkered flag, it's going to be Jason Greatrex from Ben Hansey. In 3rd place is Courtney Milnes. Then it's Tom Smith. A gap back to Steve Foden, Richard Baxter and Marcus Bailey. Callum Greatrex, Matthew Short and Stephen Craggs complete the top 10. What a stunning race.
It really was, wasn't it? And pretty clean racing up front too, despite all the place changes. Sure, there was plenty of battling going on in the pack too, but it was, well, you just didn't want to take your eyes off that leading group, did you?
Yeah, I mean, Richard Baxter, Jason Greatrex, and who else led? Ben Hansey led, Courtney Milnes led, so four drivers led. Sometimes there were 3 different leaders on a lap.
Absolutely stunning stuff. 5 Club Racing absolutely showing the way with MX-5 racing in 2020. And Jason Greatrex, I think that's his first win in the category. He did race back when the championship was started 5 or so years ago. Where he may have won a run, I'm not too sure though.
You know, that was so exciting that I completely lost track of how many laps they were on. It's pretty rare that my lap charts blow up, but
we did 11 laps in the end.
11 laps, well.
And the top 7 separated by 3 seconds at the end of that.
Bring on race 2, that's all I can say.
The fastest lap went to 5th placed Steve Foden, and I think we only lost 1 car in the 43, and that was the car that spun into the gravel. I think then he pulled into retirement. So that's great, and that shows the driving standards in the championship too. And I think everybody was on the lead lap too. I don't remember seeing anybody getting lapped except for that one retiree. So great stuff from the 5 Club Racing Championship here at Silverstone. Now, when they have 3 races, a third is a reverse grid. I'm not sure because they only have 2 today, whether it'll be a reverse grid later or not. But really, out of those first 7, there's nothing between them anyway. So I don't know if it make a huge amount of difference to the excitement of the racing. But we will look forward to more 5 Club Racing MX-5 Cup racing this afternoon. And when we have single make racing, Marcus, when it's like that, we don't mind, do we?
Absolutely not. I mean, that was just awesome. Some really fantastic club racing, brilliantly driven cars. There was very, very little in the way of paint trading along the way, and that shows strong respect for fellow competitors. And well done to Jason Greatrex, Ben Hansey and Courtney Milnes for filling the podium at the end of it. Very, very clean, quick racing, and this is a very, very standard production car. It's just been nicely honed with some safety equipment to enable it to go racing, and it's providing sensational value for money, which is why the grid is large this year. So well done to Alan Robson, the guys who have got this resurgence really up together. People are really hungry to go racing this year, I sense, in this shortened, sort of straightened season.
Lots of comments on the stream, so lots of people enjoying that Mazda MX-5 racing, which is great to see. Dave Searle asks, what are the average age in this series? Are there any old fat blokes like me? Anybody?
There's room for everybody.
Exactly. We've got youngsters, teenagers, up to old age pensioners and two, and they're
Yeah.
all, and they can all win the race too.
Yeah, it's not ageist, it's not weightist.
Or sexist.
No, clearly not.
So great to see, and as people are commenting, there are other Mazda MX-5 championships in action this weekend. I think the 5 Club Racing have upped the numbers to have the highest of all of them, but it does show Mazda MX-5 is massively popular, and there must be at least 100 racing this weekend throughout the I think there's 4 Mazda MX-5 championships in action this weekend, so it's great to see the support that 5 Club have managed to get in 2020. And if the rating's like that all season, it's going to be pretty awesome, isn't it? We've got further rounds to come this season, as well as later, at Castle Combe, Mallory Park and Donington Park. They're not bad slipstreaming circuits either, are they?
Absolutely not. When's the next one,
so
Josh?
Castle Combe, which I think is on their finals weekend, which is now a 2-day weekend in September. Then Mallory Park in October, and Donington Park in the middle of November. So that's going to be an exciting end to the season, I am sure. But down in the pit lane is Matt Suckling with our top 3.
Dan here with Jason Greatrex, then winner of our first MX-5 race of the day. Jason, that was a fantastic battle out front, and well done on your first win of the year.
Brilliant, thank you. At Snetterton, last time out, our engine was a bit underpowered. We've done a lot of work. Big thanks to my father. Put a lot of hours in over the past month to get the car where it needs to be, and it's there now. It's not a good idea being in front at this track because you're just going to swamp by everyone from behind, but I managed to pull a gap a couple of laps from the end and just keep it to the end. If there was another lap, they probably it could have mixed round again then, but good race.
It's a great circuit though for slipstreaming, as we saw down the hang straight.
It's good for the spectators, but obviously there's not many here at the moment. But yeah, as far as the racing goes, you don't know where, even on the last lap, if there's a trainee, you could end up in 5th place easily on the last lap. So yeah, real good race.
Good stuff. Well done, Jason. Good luck for race number 2 as well. We'll bring in Ben Hansey very quickly as well for 2nd place. Ben, great race. How did you find that?
Oh, that was an awesome race. Silverstone, you always know that you're never going to get away and run and hide. And when I got out front early doors, I thought, this is too soon. Looked at Maria's going down Hanging Straight and saw a train coming by, and I was like, that's 4 cars past. This is going to be interesting. Managed to sneak by into Stowe up into 3rd, and then tagged on the back of Jason down in the complex here, and it's like, he's a wily old fox. I've been doing this a few years, but he's got a few more years on me, and it's like there's no getting past him without throwing some tricks, and we run out of time. But excellent race.
Good stuff. Well done, Ben. Good luck for race number 2 as well. And Courtney will bring you in as well, our 3rd place finisher in that race. Courtney, well done. Very quickly, how was the race for you?
It was really good. It was really good. It was a lot of change of places. It was very sweaty as well. But no, I'm really happy about how it came out in the end, definitely. So fingers crossed for the next round.
Good stuff. Well done, Courtney. There you go. Courtney finishing in 3rd place. 2nd place for Ben Hansey, and a winner for the first MX-5 race, that of Jason Greatrex.